Hi, I'm Aiman. Welcome back to my auto repair videos. In this video, I'm going to show you or give you some ideas on how to remove and replace the rotor for a 2014 Honda Accord, which also applies to 2013-2017 models. Now, this video already assumes that you've taken off all the other components, including the brake pad, the caliper, the caliper bracket. And if you don't know how to do that, or you need some tips on how to do that, go check out my other videos on this. This video is also going to be part of a larger video on how to remove and replace the entire assembly. So go and check that out if you're interested. The first step that we've already done is removing this rotor screw. And we've already done that. This is what it looks like right now. So you can see a lot of work went into removing this rotor screw or bolt. So we have some clips on how to do just that. So let's go. So in order to take this out, we're going to carve out a flathead in it, and we're going to use a hammer and a chisel to turn it. Alright, so now that we have the screw out, we can get to actually taking out the rotor, which is its own beast. Okay, so with the rotor, we're going to take it out by knocking it out. Now, if you plan on resurfacing the rotor or rebuffing it, use a rubber mallet. In our case, because we have a rusted rotor, which is, there's no way it's going to be useful for resurfacing, we're just going to knock it out with a regular hammer. And if we're lucky, then we'll be able to show you the way to remove it using these two holes, and that uses a sort of a device, a lead screw type device. That's if we're lucky. If we're unlucky, this will come out easily, and that means we won't be able to show you on video, unless we get it stuck on the other side. So here, it doesn't matter which place you knock it, because it's just going to be able to dislodge it. So we're unlucky. As you can see, it's dislodged. Hopefully on the other side it is stuck, so that you guys can see what it looks like when you use these two holes to wrench it out. But okay, there we go. Now we have the rotor out. Oh, it looks very terrible. Definitely could use some replacing. If I haven't mentioned it before, this hasn't been replaced in 100,000 miles, so it's a good thing that we replaced it. Oh my god, that's so loud. Especially on my brother's car. As a reminder, we're doing this on my brother Meryl's car, and for this replacement, we actually got a genuine Honda rotor, which costs about $20 more than an aftermarket part or a non-genuine one. And for sake of comparison, this is what the genuine rotor looks like. Hold on, I want to handle this without gloves so that it looks cool. All right, I take that back. Normally, you'd find a genuine rotor for about 2 times as much as you would find a non-genuine part or one at AutoZone. And thankfully, my dad found a deal, or someone was selling a rotor for $20 more than one that they would sell at AutoZone. But, you know, maybe in like the pandemic times especially, like you could find these for maybe 3 times as much as an aftermarket rotor. So just thankfully, my dad found a deal that allowed him to get a genuine one. And it's better for my brother, because it's my brother's car. So for a comparison, that's what the two of them look like. And backside, you can see that this one is leagues better than this other one. And another thing is, earlier in the video, I mentioned that this only had one countersink for the rotor screw, and this one also only has one countersink, which means that a genuine Honda rotor only has one countersink instead of 2. If we look on the actual what's it called, place where you secure the rotor, it looks like there's also only 2 holes which means that maybe they accounted for having 2 rotors. Maybe they accounted for aftermarket or non-genuine rotors having 2 countersinks. But looks like the genuine one only has 1. Okay, so that's pretty nifty. They designed it so that you could put an extra screw, even though the genuine one doesn't have a screw. So they designed this with car mechanics in mind. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to reinstall the rotor. So all you have to do is take your new rotor, find where that countersink is, and line it up with the holes on the place where you mount it. So I'm going to mount it like this because this is where the previous screw went. You can tell that this one isn't where it went because this one has has rust on it. I'm just going to line that up and put that on. Wait, please tell me it came with a extra screw. Okay, that's alright because rotor screws can be bought for relatively cheap. Well, not relatively, I think they cost like $5, but you can get replacement rotor screws fairly easily. Alright, turns out we have 1 extra replacement screw, thankfully. If the other one breaks, if the other rotor screw breaks, that means we have to buy another one from AutoZone. So hopefully it doesn't break. Okay, so now we're going to put the rotor screw in. We have just 1 extra, so hopefully the rotor screw on the other side is not broken. Alright, so I'm just going to tighten this while pushing this in. Whew, and steady as she goes. Looks good to me. Okay, so that's it. So I'm Aiman, and today I showed you how to remove and replace the rotor on a 2014 Honda Accord, which also applies to 2013 to 2017 models. This is part of a bigger video on how to remove and replace the entire rear brake assembly on the Honda Accord, so go check that out if you're interested. But for now, I'll see you there. I'm Aiman. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and look at videos on i-MMD, especially the videos on the Honda Accord, and I'll see you there. But for now, signing out. Peace.